Welcome to DC Vigilante. As you know, I don't write a script or even think about what I'm going to say before I do it or try to plan anything. It's just not my thing. I just don't have the time to do it. So I just basically press the phone and that's it. But what I have realised is, as I scour the net, as I look through the net and YouTube channels, I constantly look for people that may have a similar point of view than myself and have a better way of putting it across. And instead of just sending a link or adding a link to it, I put the person's video on this. Now, when I first watched this video, it only had about 667 views, which to me is fantastic because I'm lucky if I get over 10 views for my video. But this is a guy, Film Toaster is his name, so you can check that out. And the title is "This is the Future You Chose." And anyway, but what goes on is what I've been saying all along is it enhances why I dislike Marvel and Disney, especially what they've been doing for the last few years. Right, and I've mentioned in many of my videos before about their control over Rotten Tomatoes and the critics, and I'm flabbergasted how these movies are making so much money when, for me, they're just plain. And what I mean by plain is, after you've seen the first one or the second one, they all follow suit. It's the manufactured. It's like in one of those sweatshops, or production line. They're all got the same ingredients in it, and after a while you bore of them, and there's not much creativity in the things that you're watching. And when Disney went and bought Star Wars, and I recently just watched Film Junkie, and he was talking about how they're trying to sell this Jedi movie, the next Star Wars movie, and still use Mark Hamill. Without Mark Hamill, they've just basically photoshopped his image to try and sell the new poster, because they've fucked up. And what I've often said in my video, and if you don't believe me, check out my past videos about Disney, is that they bought up the Star Wars franchise, they bought up the Marvel franchise, they're buying Sony and everything else, but they're buying them so they don't really have to create something and bring something fresh. Now Disney, I think Walt Disney will be rolling about in his grave just now, because Disney for me has stopped being creative. There has not been an ounce from their department that it feels something fresh and new. And I was originally going to call this video "Disney Can't Make BVS, Batman v Superman," because it doesn't follow their flavour. Now, the reason why I believe Batman vs Superman is one of the all-time best superhero movies is because it was fresh when it came out. And unfortunately, and I've said this before, I believe that society really is dumbing down. Now, I'm not saying you I'm not saying the world is dumb, but we have slowly been brainwashed into thinking that we need to see these movies. This is how these films should be made, and I think in years to come, people will realise what we've missed out on. We have the movement of the Snyder Cut, and people posting money towards to get the posters and everything else. And I talked about Lucifer getting a revival. I've talked, and it's the power of us. It's we want creativity. We don't want to be denied. We don't now. Bloggers and websites, they'll start saying that, oh, we're all haters, or the Snyder Cut fans are bad people, anything like that. But they'll cause, oh, I just didn't get Man of Steel. He was too dark and everything else. And I'm thinking, no, you guys have just watched umpteen Marvel movies of, you know, and they're in the same line of, you know, Disney movies and Toy Stories. Okay, our heroes are darker, you know, and even Superman can be dark at times, and it's something unique and something different. Now, films like now Warner Brothers is to blame for this as well, by the way, because several years ago there was Superman Returns, which was a rehash of the old Superman movies, and then they take and then they made Green Lantern, which was a kind of very much like a Marvel movie. They took BVS. And after BVS, they tried to turn Justice League and everything else into a Marvel movie, and they were destroying creativity. And now that they've certainly realised their mistakes, and now they're claiming that they're putting, you know, they're not going to do the united, you know, the joint universe. Some people say the universe is dead or whatnot. It might just be, but at least there is a chance for something new, something that is going to be separate, which we all always wanted. We wanted something to be separate from the Marvel, so you know what you're watching. You're either watching a DC movie and you can tell straight away it's a DC movie, either because it's darker or because it's more real, more grounded. You'll know you're watching the Marvel films because there's like a joke every 2 minutes and it's all fun and games and smiling and stuff. And you know how I feel about copying ideas. And here's another thing, and I've made videos, even Film Gub has made videos of the similarities between some of the Marvel films towards BVS, Man of Steel and everything else. It's like even the directors on the Marvel side or the Disney side don't have a fresh idea of themselves and they copy. Now that should be an honour, right? We should be grateful for Marvel copying DC. But sadly enough, there are people out there, Marvel fans or people that are not into the comics but love the Marvel movies, right? They're reading all this biased stuff and thinking that Marvel came up with this idea first. But no, Disney stopped having independent thought a long time ago, right? When DC brought out Wonder Woman, Kevin Feige basically went on a rampage and started, you know, saying that Captain Marvel was the first female superhero. Let's all take control of Rotten Tomatoes and beef this up and say how fantastic this movie is. Let's put some women in there. He's annoyed that DC got there first because he didn't have that vision that Zack Snyder did when he brought in Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman and The Flash, and they put them all together in this great story arc that he was about to tell. So let's have a look at this video.
This is the first time that movie news has ever made me anxious, physically anxious. I just read less than an hour ago, Disney is making a live-action Winnie the Pooh. And
art as far as I'm concerned.
You've got to stop. You've got to stop. This is a problem. Like, it's funny to make jokes the first few times, but it's literally every other day at this point that Disney is announcing a new live-action remake of a classic. Now, the first problem is the financial one, right? I understand you're a business, but you can be a business without being a whore. You can be a business without losing any and all semblance of trying to be art. I don't think Disney has a single project in development that's not an adaptation of something else. And I'm including Pixar's Herman's Head thing this summer. But with Star Wars and Marvel and all the animated remakes into live action, do you have one screenwriter working on something they came up with in their own brain? One? Even if you're going to go back and rape your own catalog, slow the fuck down! Why do you have to do it so fast? Why are you in such a hurry? The bigger problem is the creative one, right? Marvel's expanded universe, already too much of a good thing. I like superheroes. I want to see superhero movies, but we don't need fucking 20 a year. And that's where we're going to be in like 3 years. Again, none of these are original screenplays or products. These are all adaptations. This is how we become the society in idiocracy. Not the failing education system, which would probably get us there, but it's going too slow. This is going to get us there faster. Within 50 years, there won't be a person alive who knows how to write an original idea. Everyone will have only experience adapting other people's shit. We are breeding out originality and creativity. And we're going to create a cultural dilution that we will not recover from. We won't. I am not outraged by you trying to make money. I am not outright outraged by you being a whore. I'll make jokes about that. I'm getting outraged about the lack of originality. As somebody who has done original things, as somebody who appreciates original things. Somewhere right now, there's a kid. He's 15. He's sitting in high school, and he has ideas. He probably sketches them in his notebook. But by the time he comes to age where he can be creative for a living, there's a 99% chance that it's going to be the soulless recreation of another generation's work. And that's tragic. That is tragic. Winnie the Pooh's fine. There's no reason for Winnie the Pooh. You saw Paddington come out, and you saw your other live-action adaptations of animated classics come out, and you saw dollar signs. And it breaks my heart that not one person at Disney stopped along the way and said, but is it a good idea artistically? Not one! Everyone with dollar signs in their eyes flashing over there. And it's not going to stop. It won't stop because the general public is already kind of like idiocracy people. They just go, bullshit. And we're losing our art. Truly creative people can't get funding. I'm not making this video for jokes. I'm not joking around. This is a serious cultural problem in America, that we are dumbing down our entertainment and our art. And it's probably happening across all forms of art. I know music is dumb as shit, right? They just jam whatever they want down our throats and repeat it so many times that before we even have a chance to decide that we hate it, we're used to it, and it's familiar, and we're singing along, and we want to die. If you're out there and you're a kid or an adult and you have a cool idea, fucking do it. Write it. Film it. Draw it. Get it out there. And if enough of you do it, maybe we can turn the tide. Make it good. Make it as good as you can. Make it bad. Bad original ideas are still better than rehashed fuckery.
It is an unbelievably stupid script. Where it is, and the sad part, it almost feels like you know, you go into battle having known you've lost the war already. Because
is that going into watching this?
Yes, that's how I felt, because it's not like this was its opening weekend. It has been out for 2 weeks overseas and has already passed $700 billion mark.
Yeah.
Where everyone in the world has seen it, and now it's like, now we're guaranteed. We're guaranteed more.
Now, again, I'm not saying stop making movies about books. You're doing that too much. It should concern you that in the last handful of years, Disney has sucked up Pixar, Star Wars, and Marvel. They own them. It's not like they're friendly and they have a good relationship. They literally bought them. You can expect to see Star Wars
and destroy them.
Books, cartoons, TV shows, movies, out the ass. I actually think this next movie is going to be awesome, but in the face of the monster behemoth that shit is going to become, where we have one-off movies and main trilogy movies and standalone movies, you're going to make me sick of it. You're going to make me sick of something that I love. You don't want to be art, you don't want to be business, fine. That's your defense. But then, you can't really have the Academy Awards anymore. You can't do that. You gotta change the name at least and call them the Cashies. I'm concerned. It's not funny anymore. I can't make any jokes. There's no jokes to make. Disney announces live-action Aladdin. That's gonna happen on Saturday.
I mean, I could not have put that any better. Film Toaster is well said. I mean, I even liked the bit about the music. I mean, this is why, you know, a lot of the classics and the old stuff is coming through. And I remember when Bohemian Rhapsody came out, and people were amazed on YouTube about how everyone in the group could sing. Everyone could harmonise, and when Freddie sang, it was almost like he was, you know, he just sang as good as the recording. You don't get talent like that anymore. It's all manufactured shite that comes through stuff like American Idol, X Factor, stars that you'll maybe see for about a year. They make the money, nobody's ever, and then you don't see them ever again. Same as these movies. You go to the movies, you watch it, you come home and you don't talk about it. You've seen it and it doesn't leave a lasting impression. You know, and BVS did. Whether you loved it or you hate it, it left an impression. And it was different, and it was a unique, and it was a new way of looking at things. And sadly enough, majority of the world has just been dumbed down to this rubbish. Well, that's my truth. It's this guy's truth. Film Junkie's truth. So many people on YouTube, you know, who do not have, you know, are not being paid by anybody, and it's just like, but it's like me, and getting their voices out there. These are the people you should be listening to. If they come across biased, then you know. I mean, you could say that I am. You know, I'm definitely biased. I won't put against it, because I do have a general dislike for Marvel movies. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is something about these Marvel movies and music and everything else that I'm not getting. But there is a lot of truth in that, and what the guy said and what I've said about how there's no more originality coming out. You know what, it's just a remake. What was the next one after Aladdin? The Lion King. Seriously, and look how good Aladdin's came out. You know, there is, look what the company did to Star Wars, and with their political agenda stuff that they did to it. Look how they destroyed it. They don't care what they do to your, I mean, I've even had Marvel fans telling me that they hate the films because of what they did to the characters. These people don't care, you know, about how they treat your franchise. All they care about is money, And you could say, of course you do, it's a business, they care about the money and everything else. But this is why you guys and girls have the voice to make sure they stay in the direction that we all want them to stay in. You know, for instance, if they make a Punisher movie, you know, to join the MCEU, do you want all nice jokes and everything else? No, so you have the voice. You know, you speak up for the movie that you wanted. You know, we didn't want a nice jokey sort of Justice League stroke Marvel movie, so we will voice our opinions. We didn't like the ending, the way how Games of Thrones was rushed, so we voice our opinions. We have the power to stop these companies taking the piss. This is DC Friendship Vigilante. If you've managed to stay awake to this now, thank you very much. Please feel free to share this video. Thank you. And again, the guy called Film Toaster.